Thank you guys, first of all, for spreading the word about our show for so long.
Our pleasure.
Much appreciated. Yeah, it's been a wonderful trip. Really, really cool trip.
I have to say we got a lot of positive feedback, including my own, about the twist with Claudia's sister. We were a little nervous that they were going to pull the Artie's Claudia's dad trick.
No. The last 6 episodes are going to be very satisfying. Very, very cool. Really beautifully written. The fans are not going to be disappointed. The final episode is surprising and inevitable. It is beautifully written episode. We're just glad we got the chance to do it. You know, some shows get canceled right in the middle of their journey, but they had enough respect for the fans that we did this final 6. So 64 episodes is nothing to sneeze at.
And now the relationship between Artie and Claudia has really felt like the main part of the show, as far as this father-daughter kind of relationship.
Mentor, student, sorcerer's apprentice, all of that.
And how do you feel that that's going to change now that?
Well, she's gotten older. Things change, and also because she's got a responsibility to the warehouse that she never had before as a potential caretaker. But you know, Allison and she's only a year older than my real daughter, so she's a second daughter. She came on the show when she was 18. You know, when my daughter was actually 17, and we developed that immediate colleague rapport where there was, I didn't think about age difference, but there was a father-daughter relationship, and it grew as she got older, you know, and they wrote for it. So that was one of the great joys of the show, for sure.
Now, is she going to be Artie's boss now if she becomes the caretaker?
I can't tell. Artie never was good at having any boss, was he?
No. And how was it at the beginning of the season dealing with the story, you know, of Artie having to come back from the terrible things he'd done the season before? What was your take on that?
Well, we knew the journey before we started the 20, and I knew what was going on. And, you know, I have to say, it's really not that. What mostly I was really thrilled that I got the first part of the show was I got to work with an old friend, Brent Spiner, who I'd worked with before, not just on Star Trek, but on stage. And the fact that we were doing all these episodes together was a really joyful thing. Once Artie was coming back out of it, a beautiful episode got written where Artie was trapped in his own mind, and that was really, you know, what the writers were great at doing. What Jack was really brilliant at doing was finding a way in that was not too sentimental and yet not too serious. It had a humor but poignancy. And we've always been really, really lucky about it.
Now, we've heard that there may be a little bit of Warehouse 14 action. Can you tell us?
Who told you that?
Nobody?
Jack?
Whispers.
Speculating here.
Maybe. Maybe a bit of Warehouse 9 too. Maybe they're connected. Maybe not. You never know. Well, I can't give away anything. You know I can't give away anything. I'm not going to give away anything. I can tell you that whatever you were used to in the show is there. That there's still things that are going to surprise you. The characters are not fixed. They grow as they do in life. We've had a wonderful relationship with each other, and a special relationship with the fact that Jack, as a writer, has been on the set. We were able to change things and adapt things as we go, which is a very rare thing in hour-long television. So we've had a wonderful and unusual run. Really, really gratifying. Lucky run. Nothing to be too sad about.
When you look back at the previous seasons, are there any episodes that stand out as your favorite?
This is your spokesman?
She's good.
I'm your warehouse gal.
All of it, you know, I've been asked about what, if something stands out. The thing is, it's all like one extraordinary long episode that lasted 64 hours worth of work, because they run into each other. There are moments here and there that are, some of them are off screen. There are moments of agony where something wasn't working, something to get something to work. There's meeting new people. There's directors that were great that we never expected to have a director like Chris Fisher who worked with us for so long. We don't have him this year. wonderful experiences on the show. Those are the biggest memories that I have. And the fans. I mean, wherever I go, wherever I was, in London or in Paris or in New York where I am now, the people shouting out, Artie! 13! Yeah! And they could be 80, they could be 12, they could be 30. They were all walks of life. So that was a really cool thing as a dad, that there were, I've always said this to you guys, and it stayed true. The fact that we were doing a show that families could watch together is very rare. For hour-long shows. Unless it's, America's Got Talent, where a family might watch a game show. But an hour-long show that was not only okay for a 10 or 11-year-old, but also okay for a 50-year-old or a 30-year-old, and it wasn't going to bore them, that's not hard to do. And the reason that happened is humor. The stakes stayed high, and the humor was always there, no matter what. And one intangible, and that is that the chemistry between us was real. Whatever you're seeing on the screen, that's real chemistry. You can't manufacture it.
What do you want for Artie before the end of the season? What would you like to see for him and for his relationship with Claudia?
What's happening is right. I'm not. My thing about the show once the first season was under our belt was I stopped thinking about the writing, about what I wanted, because the writers were ahead of me. I just wanted the journey and the experience of being with these wonderful actors and having the fun and the joy of doing the show. At the same time, being able to support my family. There's nothing better. It's very rare for any of us as actors, working actors. You get to do a role that's great with people that you love, and you can support your family. That's called being a success. And I've been very fortunate that that's happened at this point in my career. I really wasn't expecting it.
Is there anything now that your schedule freed up a little bit?
Yeah. Well, my daughter has graduated college. She's heading out into the world of acting. So maybe she'll be at this table with a new series, Hannah. Maybe, you never know. My son's heading into college. That's going to be very exciting for him. My wife's a producer. We have projects together. Jack and I are cooking up a new show. Maybe you never know. That could happen. I've written a play that was on in London 2 years ago. I'm hoping to get an American director. I've written another play, co-wrote another play that I'm trying to get on. And I've written a new screenplay. I've written 2 television pilots. I don't wait for the phone to ring. So I move on. I stay young by being ridiculously optimistic to the point of lunacy. But I've had a lucky career. I have a good marriage. I have great children. I'm a lucky guy. I really am.
What do you miss most about the show?
The people is what I'm going to miss. I'm not going to miss anything else but the people, of course. That family. Exactly what you expect. The crew, part of our family. The actors. We'll meet and work in different situations, but it's had its run. I'm sure did you have an interview with people from Breaking Bad yet? Well, the people who had that kind of experience are going to miss each other. They're going to miss that coming to work feeling that rubbing against each other, the chemistry of all of that. We were very lucky with that. And that's a little bit,
Where would you rank the scene with Lindsay?
Lindsay was a wonderful addition to the show. And there's a kind of, this season you'll feel a little bit of Lindsay back. I can't tell you exactly how, but in an very odd way. Rene Bourgeois, Lindsay Wagner. Rene and I never knew each other. He's become a pal. He's a wonderful actor. I love him. Yeah. So many wonderful actors came on our show and had a great time. And a lot of that's because we have such a good time with each other, and because Jack allows a lot of freedom. You're a fan of the show.
Big fan of the show.
It'll still stay on for a few years, you know that. And you never know, right? You never know. If the fans are incredibly powerful, more powerful than they've ever been in the history of entertainment.
Yeah, we're getting a Veronica Mars movie, so...
You are?
Yeah, well, Kickstarter.
So,
you need a Kickstarter Warehouse 13.
Then you could do it. Maybe somebody will do that.
Somebody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So much.